Hi everyone, today we're going to get started on this beautiful boat painting. Excuse my arm in the way, I'm just getting my setup ready. My channel is Heart and Design and I'm Tash and I'm an artist in the UK and I love to spread the joy of creativity in all of our daily practices. So you'll see on my channel every day I post a very quick daily activity, and then this one is more of a longer length one that you can take your time over, maybe once a week, once a month, or just whenever you feel like it. I add the full length ones to the channel membership and the time-lapse ones are available free on the channel. The membership is a very small fee. There's hundreds of videos on there now. And yeah, it just helps to support me to continue doing this work. Right, so what you'll need is your palette. I've got a Stay Wet palette. I can put that down in the links in case you want to purchase one. They're brilliant because your acrylics stay nice and wet while you're working, because they do tend to dry out quite quickly if you're new to acrylics. You'll need the usual, your water, your brushes. I would make sure you have a range of straight brushes, flat brushes, a few rounds of some kind. Not sure if we'll use the rounds, we'll see. Definitely angle brushes. I use them for so much, for so many things. And sometimes the filberts come in handy as well. So they're like the flat brushes with a round end. I won't linger on that for the people that already know. And some of you may be much more advanced than me, but you're just here for a project or to see something a bit different. So today we're going to do this slightly abstract painting. We did one last week and that nice abstract floral. We did the daisies, but this time we're going to do an abstract boat painting in a similar kind of style. So I'm going to mix up, first of all, we're going to do the background. So I want pinks and blues and yellows for the sky. And we're kind of going to do the sky sweeping in that direction. And then across the bottom, we are going to do the sea in the same colours but going across that way. Normally we do it in kind of thirds, but I think this time I want to go half and half. Maybe we could bring the boat down maybe a bit nearer to the front. We'll see. Let's just get started. So I want to mix up some pinks first of all. So I've got a bit of cadmium red here. Just pop a little bit out. I mean, we're going to be needing quite a bit for the sky, so it's important to kind of mix up quite a few colours if we can. Mix up quite a large amount of colour for the background. Where's my yellow gone? We have got, this is my cadmium yellow deep hue. I was looking for, that's burnt umber. Oh, is that it? Cadmium yellow pale. Okay, so that's the yellows. Hopefully you can see that on there. My palette is quite big, so now first of all I'm just going to mix in some white with all of them and just kind of get a value that I like. So a value meaning from dark to light. So I think that might be a bit too kind of lemony. We could put some of that in some of the lighter aspects when we're coming in at the end. I had a feeling that might be. And sometimes, you know, when I haven't painted for a while, I have to check again and think, what does that look like again when it's got a bit of white in it? Now I do want them to be quite tinted down with the white. I want them to be more pastelised colours, not too shocking. We're going for a nice pastel look here. Yeah, that's nice for the sky. That's pretty much what I wanted. Great. So we know we want that yellow, not so much that yellow. So then we need to mix the pink. I'm just going to use some tissue. Always have some tissue on hand, paper towel, just to wipe that off, give it a good clean. And then we'll come in and we're going to try and make a nice pink. Trying to make sure as I go into the white, I'm not mixing that white in with any other colours. Keeps it pure. So we're going to need quite a bit of white to really lighten this up. It is actually a really nice pink, but we do need a lot more white. So again, as I say, try not to contaminate that white. It's easy done. That looks like a kind of bubblegum pink, doesn't it? Gorgeous. Okay. I've been doing a lot of soft pastel paintings lately, so it's been a while since, I mean, I did do that painting last week, but it's been a while since I've used acrylics, and you do kind of forget. You need to get back in the groove of what colours look nice. So we're going to go for some phthalo blue. And what I'll do is keep back the colours that I've used here so that I don't forget what I've used. So that's phthalo blue. Again, we're going to get a chunk of white. And we're just mixing in the end of the colour to start with. We don't need to do the whole blob because we just want to see what a little bit does. See, there you go. It's already coming up really beautiful. And so we don't need to use the whole lot. It's there to add some more white to when we feel we need it, which we probably will quite quickly. Now, a lot of the time when I'm doing abstract, I kind of like to mix on the palette a little bit as we go. So you need to be free for this one. You need to have a nice open, free mind for this one. I think we'll leave it at that for the sky. So I'm going to get some painter's tape, and I am going to mark a horizon line. Now what you can do is you can, I'm going to come down to about here. You can paint the edges as you go so that you're getting the same colours, or you can leave it and then you can just take the edges of your painting and then go round and do the edges at the end. So I'm not too worried about the edges at the moment because this is a demo for you. I am literally thinking as I go along. I don't plan these. I think it's best you see the whole learning process. I may make this may come out as a big mess, but I'm still going to post it because you need to see that. So to start with, for the sky, I'm just going to get a normal straight flat brush. I'm making sure that it's full of water, but not too much. And then we're going to try and mix these colours into the sky, going in a sweeping motion that way without trying to muddy the colours. This is the key. And that's not easy. And what I like to do, as I said before, is I like to mix the colours as I'm going along, mix my white in. So I am doing the edge here. But just make sure you've washed your brush in between so it's not full of that paint. Always make sure you have a handy rag so that you can brush out any excess colour when you've washed it in the water, and then come in again with any other colour that you want to add. And we are going in this sweeping motion across the sky like that, trying again, as I said, not to muddy the colours, lighten them up as we go maybe. And I'm almost just kind of tickling the canvas because I don't want to muddy the colours too much. I'm just giving it a tickle, and we're just kind of pushing one colour into the other to blend it in. Again, I just want to have some white coming in and kind of sweeping through. And again, you don't have to do it how I'm doing it. You can completely do it differently. Okay, I'm just adding some more blue in up there. And I'm just blending it in by wiggling my brush. Okay, that looks nice. So now I'm going to come in with some of the yellow. And we're going to bring that into the sky. That's gorgeous. It's a really nice yellow. It's perfect for what I wanted. I'm going to bring that up. And then I'm going to mix some pink in down here. Again, I'm just tickling it into the other colour. You can see it's almost mixing and making that gorgeous little peachy colour, which is nice. I'm going over the blue a little bit. Be careful because it will turn green. That's okay though. You can still have that colour mixing. I'm going to wash my brush because it looks beautiful. I'm happy, but we still need some of that sweeping movement and there's not enough of that. It's all kind of gone into a flat colour. So I'll come in with a bit of white and we can get sort of more of a sweeping action across the sky. Nice. Yeah. We don't want to do too much to that because sometimes it just happens, it's there, it's right first time, so try not to worry too much. Now I'm just mixing in, using the edge of the brush to kind of pull in some more strands of sky sweeping that way across into the other colours. Hopefully you can see that. I might bring some more pink back, like that. I'm just using the edge of the brush because we've done the flat work, we've got most of that colour in. We can come in now and just add some more streaks. Just gives it a bit more depth. Okay. Right, I think I'm happy with that. I don't want to do any more. So what I'm going to do is try and match the colours a little bit around the edges while we're here. So, a bit of blue, one bit of pink here. And we'll come in with blue again. Because once you've done that, the edges, then you don't have to worry about it later if you can do it whilst you're painting. It's coming in quite white, we need a bit more blue in there. That's better. So please feel free to fast forward through this bit. I may even speed it up because it's not very exciting, is it? Let's get a bit of pink in there. Perfect. Wash the brush off. You don't want to muddy it too much. A little bit is fine. A little bit of natural blend is fine. There we go. As you can see, that colour leads onto the colour on the front. So I'm just kind of trying to match it up. I'm going to do this edge now, but I'm not going to put it down because it's still a bit wet. Hopefully you can still see. Pop some pink in, a bit more yellow, and a bit more pink. And there we go. Okay, so that's the top half all matched up. Now what we need to do is just dry that off. You can leave it to dry. You can use a hairdryer to dry it. I have a little heat tool, so I hope the video should go silent now so you're not bombarded with the sound. Okay, so now we can take the tape off. We've got our lovely horizon line, and what we're going to do is use the same colours to build up the sea. There'll just be probably quite a bit more blue as we go. So I'm just going to check that it is proper dry there. Yeah. So then we just need to put the tape down over the paint. I try not to push it too much because I don't want it to lift the paint. Okay. And then we'll still have that nice straight line. But to be honest with this kind of painting, because it is quite surreal and abstract, I wouldn't worry too much. Right, I am going to lighten up that blue. And we're going to come straight in the back there. Keep going around to the edges if you want to do your edges at the same time. Okay. Let's get some more of that in. And what we want is some varying kind of values of that blue. Make sure there's enough water on your brush as well. When it starts to stick on the canvas, it means you haven't got enough water and you've got too much paint compared to how much water you've got. So as you can see, I'm letting the paint do the work. I'm letting the paint get all streaky and show that there's some kind of difference in value. Just going to come around the bottom, do the edges, and then that's out the way. Here we go. We are going to introduce some of the other colours as well into the C part. But you can see how just coming in like this, it creates the waves for you. So have some nice short ones, have some nice big ones. Make sure they're blended nicely. We don't want to see any canvas. Might just come in with quite a bit of white there. Just fill in those canvas holes for now. Just make sure that your canvas is all covered. And then you can play around with the paint. We can always just do one layer of blue like that and then come in and add colour. I'm quite happy with that as a background now. I know that all of the canvas is pretty well covered. Now I am going to come in with more white at the back. I kind of want to separate the back from the front with the white a bit. I want to have boats there anyway. Okay. Then we're going to come in with some of the yellow and we'll just have that coming down here. Anywhere you want really. Just use the edge of the brush. This is where you could use an angle brush actually, which I think I will. I'm going to get an angle brush out because this is what it's made for doing really nice lines in the work. Just going to add a bit more white to that yellow. Lighten it up because it is in the sea. You can go as light or as dark as you want, you know, it's your painting. I always say that. You put the lines where you want them, you put the colours where you want them, you do it your way. I'm just trying to give you the skeleton to go from to create your own work. So at the moment I'm feeling like that's too pale. I really want some more colour brought back. So let's go like, there we go. Might even go straight into that darker. Yeah, that's nice. You want to create a bit more effect. I think what we need to do is get some more of that darker one in the sky as well. That's nice. Just makes it a little bit bolder than it was. I realise I'm on an angle to you. I'm kind of working like that. Right. Oh, I think that was my flat brush. Never mind, doesn't matter. Right. Might have to do a water change in a minute. Okay, so now I want to get some pinks in as well. So what we're going to do is kind of just bring some lines of pink in. Small ones. I think I'm going to do smaller ones at the back. Remember, this is very surreal and abstract. So just enjoy exploring the colour and having fun with it. Try not to worry too much. And I am doing a really quite simplified version. You could really come in with lots more colours, lots more layers. But obviously this is for you guys. We're doing a beginner. So it's important we keep it so that it's achievable for you guys. Okay, it's starting to come together now. Just smudging those back ones in a bit. Almost sometimes we just want a hint of that pink, but we don't want too much. So we'll just smudge a bit in. A bit more over here. Now it's quite pale. I'm kind of thinking I want to come in with a slightly darker version of that blue. And try and darken some areas up a bit. because I feel as though it's just a bit too pale, really. That's nice. Okay, just bringing in a slightly darker value, and we can blend that into what's already on there using our angle brush. As I say, you make it as dark in value or as light in value as you want. It's your painting. The most important thing is that you're enjoying the process and you're having fun with it. As soon as it starts to get stressful, walk away. That's what I would say. Oh, I've dribbled some water on there. Okay, we'll just dampen that down. We can go over it. Yeah, as soon as you start thinking, oh, it's not going how I want, then walk away and start again. Come back again. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep kind of the colours as they are, or if I'm going to darken them up like a deep dark sunset. We'll see. But I'm happy with it at the moment. It's a shame about that drop. Let's try and get that pushed back. There we go. So just dry in between layers if you want to put a layer on top. Do not dry if you're wanting to blend, because if you're wanting to blend, you need it to be as wet as possible. I'm just going to go around the edges, make sure that I'm happy with how tidy they are, whilst I'm kind of about to move from the background into the foreground. We're going to start painting the boats now. So this is the next step, painting the boats. Okay. Good. Okay. So I'm going to dry that now, and then we can take the tape off. Okay, that's all done. So we'll take the tape off now, and it should all come together. There we go. So there's our lovely horizon line. We just need to start popping some boats on. Now, I think for the boats, I actually want a nice grey. So I've got Payne's Grey. I'm going to use a lot of white. Oh, see if I can open it. We're going to use a lot of white to really grey it up. We don't need much of that Payne's Grey. It's a very strong, overpowering colour. And we're going to paint the boats in that nice grey in an abstract way. So we're going to need an angled brush again. Really helps to have that angled brush. Oops, I've dropped my brush in the water. Let's get that out. Kind of ruins the brushes if the handles of the brushes if they're sitting soaking in the water. I tend to use quite a big plastic pot to use my water, like a Tupperware, because that way when I'm doing this, you're not hearing me clank, clank, clank on the glass the whole time, because it's just annoying. I've heard that on some other people's videos, and I've just switched off because I can't cope with the clanking. Okay, there might have been a bit too much water on that brush. So we now need to thicken that up with paint. I want it to be a nice kind of light grey anyway. So let's get to the value that we want. Best to start off light, I think. Well, it doesn't matter really, because it's opaque. You can go over it however much you want. Right, the first boat is kind of here and coming across, and then it has a point coming up here. Okay. That's a lovely light grey just to get started on, to give us some kind of dimension of the first boat. And there's another one back here. Then there's one here. And then one over here, I think. And then one that we can't really see because of this boat, which I think is just, it's just back there somewhere. Back there? I think so. Okay. So this here is the main boat. And then what we can do once we've got the boats in place, we can actually do the shadows underneath the boats and everything as well. But literally that's our boat shape. That's all we need to do. Now what I am going to do is come in with some of the darker grey, and we can now put some shadow in. Let's dry it first. So we're going to come in with that darker grey. I'm just going to create some definition of the boats with that darker grey. We're not going to colour the whole of the boats in that colour because that will take away from its kind of depth. If we have lots of darks and lights, it kind of creates that image of depth and 3D. Okay, so that's the first one. And then we'll come back here. I don't think that one's quite dry, but it's okay. So we're going to pull that up. And this one here, I think, needs quite a bit more definition for sure. And then a bit across the top. They just need to, because it's abstract, they just need to have a sense of a sailboat. The bottom of a sailboat. That one's still wet and so is the other one. So let's give it a dry. So that's good. Literally, we just want to be doing little marks. There's another boat just going off the side there. We can't even hardly see it. And we're going to have a boat here, even though I think, yeah, we can have a mast coming up there. So now I'm going in with the Payne's Grey almost on its own, because then we've definitely got some depth that we can add into those boats and some description about what's going on. Not too much, just a little bit. Hopefully you can see them. The boats are really starting to stand out now, which is good because that's the focal point. Right, so now we can come in with the blue and kind of just push in some pastel colour also into the boats. Yeah, just gonna bring them to life a little bit by giving them a little bit of colour and shade. We also need to get the lighter grey again, and with this one in particular that's in the front, we do actually need to give it another side, don't we? I'm not worried about what's in the boat. It doesn't matter. I think I probably should have made the boat a bit longer, to be honest. I think it needs to come. Let's just make it a bit longer. So I'm going to paint over that and just make it a bit longer. It's okay because it kind of just looks like it's going into the background. Right, let's dry those layers. Okay, we're going to come in with, I was going to do the white actually, but I don't want to do that yet. What I want to do is kind of come in with their masts now. So the one over here, they're practically as big as the base of the boats. And then they just go up like that. This one is also pink, but I think it's a bit more of a shocking pink. Let's go up and like that. We're not doing too much. We're letting the paint and the brush do their thing. We really just want to we're putting down the first layers of the boat, so we just kind of want to get a bit of shape and a bit of dimension. I want that one to come up a little bit higher because it's in the foreground, so we need it to be bigger than that one, which is further away. That's okay. And we need some white. Okay, and we're going to come down here with the white, and this is going to be all white on this side. So it's going to take a bit of work on layers to get that exactly how we want it. Okay, and this one is, this is going to be in the background as well, so it's going to be small as well, isn't it? So we don't really want it any taller than that. And we're going to go in for some yellow on this one. Definitely. See, already the composition is kind of coming together. It's very simple, very abstract, very fun. Okay, so now we're going to come to this boat here. So it's on a level with those, so same kind of size sail. And we can come in over the tops of those sails with different values of the colours. So we're not worrying too much, just getting the general shape down. So I'm just going to put that in. I'm just going to have white on that side, maybe just a hint of yellow, because we have got that sun there, the sunset, which will be reflecting into the white a bit. And then we've got our main one here. So this is going to be huge. So we're going to start here and I think come up to about here. Don't be afraid. Just get some lines in. Use the edge of your brush and just get that down, because this will be what makes the picture eventually when we get it down. Okay, so that's that side. I want to come in with some lighter blue on this side, and we're just going to come down like this to the point where it's here. So you can see there, just need to kind of join them a bit. There'll be a mast coming through there eventually, but you can kind of see they're slightly different blues. Let's dry that off. Clean my brush, dry that off. Right. What we're going to do is start to come in and I think we'll put the masts in. So I'm just going to use a grey for that. Now put your finger down and just kind of come down to here like this with your brush. Okay. Doesn't need to be a perfect straight line. Remember, this is abstract. We're just having fun with line, if anything else. Just bring in some of those little dashes in, which is what I'll do on this as well. We don't want it to be too perfect. That's the whole point. Oh, itchy toes. We'll have that mask just coming up to the top over there. Then we've got more here. And the fact that you've just got that colour on the end of the brush on your angle brush means you can come in and draw these lines in really beautifully. It does the job for you. Okay, we'd have to dry those again so we don't smudge them. Now let's focus on this front boat because this is the main boat. We want to try and build up some colour and dimension in here now. Again, we just want to have fun with it. I'm just putting in some darker blue on that side. Then I might come in with some light again. Let's actually get some white and block in some white. We're just having fun with it. Perfect. And this side, we'll do the same. Remember, just let your brush, let the colour of the paint do the work. Have fun with it. I actually want to introduce some yellow to this side because it's going to have some of that kind of sun colour coming in. Kind of lose the definition of it there into that background, but you know what? Kind of like that. Let's get some white on there, that yellow. And we're just kind of losing it into the background. Kind of like that. It's cool. Okay. So we are mark making, so when you're doing your more abstract, it's not going to be completely like flat color. We're going to have lots of different depth and dimension. It's why I'm still adding to it. We want to have fun with it and kind of, yeah, just make it your own however you want to make it your own. We want to bring this one though further down to the point there. There we are. We'll come back to that one. So now we'll go back to the pink and we're going to do the same over here and try and put some stronger little bits of colour in, mixed in with some of that white. So on this side, I don't want to put too much on that side. We'll leave that like that. And this side is also, I think we need some more white. With abstracts, you're basically just trying to create a suggestion of what's there. I think I actually want this to be kind of more bellowing out a little bit. Like that. Sorry, I know I'm chopping and changing, but this is what happens when you're doing it as you're going along. You think, oh, don't think I like the way that's shaped. That's better. It's more of a billow on it, and then this one's coming in and around. Much better. That just goes to show as well that you can change things as you're going along. If you're not happy with how it's coming out, I just want it to be kind of billowing out like that. So let's get some of that darker in as well. That's better. I'm happy with that now. I wanted it to be billowing out more. But we have really darkened it, so we need to kind of bring it back to life a little bit with some lighter blue, just in places. Because we have really darkened it. Coming with a lighter blue here, down here as well. There we are. Okay. We need to do this back one here a bit because you can't really see it very well. So just bring a little bit of the other colours in. Gorgeous. Actually, I want to bring some more of that yellow into the sea while it's on my brush. So now what we need to do is have some grey blue, kind of mix the grey and the blue together to give us some kind of paint to use as shadow. And then we're just zigzagging until it gets to a little zigzag. That's kind of how we create the shadow. And coming out to the sides as well. It's important because you'll have it all the way down until you get to the little point of the shadow. Same on these ones, just zigzag that down like that. And the same here, and the same here, and the same here. Right. I'm just looking at it now to see where I want to work next. I don't know why, but I keep dribbling water on it today. I think we're going to come in with some darker blues just from the edge here. We want to create some more action in that water. It's a bit too, so far, just like one colour. So we need to change that. We need to make it look like there's depth and shadows and light. So we use the darker value of that colour to do that. And then we can come in with some more lights towards the end. Try and be loose with it. Try and have fun with it. So then we do need to come in with a white. Oh, we'll dry it first. Right, although we are abstract, I feel as though we've gone just messy with this side. So I'm just going to bring it together by just doing a wash over with one colour, and it'll kind of bring it back together again. Same with this side. Seeing as that's the boat in the front, I feel as though it needs to be just a bit more cohesive. And we need to pull in, so we need some marks like this as though it's actually attached to the boat. I think we need to darken up the middle inside there a bit as well. I think let's come in with some, oh yeah, that's nice. Some yellow streaks on the thing. We'll just come straight down with them like that. That's made all the difference. I love that. And we will do the same with some pink. We want it to be quite dark. There we go. And by adding that colour into the sails, we're kind of bringing the painting together a bit, which is great. Again, I do think we need to come back in with the white and always do some lightening up in places. Just put them wherever you want, literally just little bristles of white. And you can see they'll pick up the other paint, so be careful if it's still wet like mine. There. I think I want to come in a bit darker in here, almost kind of like creating a bit of shadow in the middle. And I think down that middle, let's just really build up that mast a bit. In bits, I'm not doing one straight line, I'm doing it all in bits. And I may even come in with that dark colour. In the sail. Just a bit. That helps to give it a bit of realism and depth as well. So we'll do that. There we go, just building it up now. That's the end of the boat. I'm just playing now, actually. So I'm not talking so much. I'm just kind of doing what I feel is right for now. And yeah, just playing. I wanted this boat to kind of come back a bit more, a bit further. That was the problem with it. So that's why we have kind of changed the shape. It just felt as though it was too, it wasn't long enough. So let's make it a bit longer because we can. You don't have to. This is why painting without doing your drawing first, which I do like to do. I like to just get in there. But it, excuse me, it can cause those problems. So okay, that's better. I'm happy with that. I knew there was something not quite right about the shape of it. It was bothering me. And you'll find that with your painting, you'll be looking at it and like, there's something not quite right. I don't know what it is, but there is something. So I feel more like it's a much better shape now. So this bit can come up like that. Fine, happier with that now. And it's still like a nice blurry abstract feel to it. We're still going to come down. No, we need it darker than that. With some darker shadow in the water with this one because it's a dark, it's in the front, it's going to be, we're going to see that darkness more. So it makes sense to just wiggle that in there. Okay. I'm just going to keep coming back to the other ones as well till I'm happy. I mean, they're in the background, so they're not really much of a focal point, so we don't need to worry too much. I want to come in with just this black on the front mast because we've lost it a little bit, I would say. We want that to be quite dark. That's better. That's a lot better. Yeah, I'm happier now. We've darkened up the boat at the front and I feel as though it has a bit more presence, whereas before it was just gonna kind of get that back of the boat just kind of mixing into the background a bit more. And we need the mast to come right down. That would help, so that he's attached to the boat. But I'm not bothered about drawing people in there. We don't need to draw people. The fun is in just drawing the environment and the boats. So now for the white. So I'm going to get some titanium white that is more of a professional white, and hopefully that will help us to get some really nice whites in, because now it's highlights time. We come in and add highlights, so you're going to have little white ripples here and there, and we actually want them to show up. Don't know why, but I think there might have been a blob of water there which has made it watery, and I don't want it watery. Okay, so we're just going to come in and put the white highlights in wherever we want them. Basically in the sea, it'll be wherever the water is kind of rippling, won't it? It doesn't have to be. It's abstract. Please have fun with it. What you might do is do it once and then do it again later and find that you prefer the next one that you do. That often happens with me. Make the mistakes on the first one, like I did with my boat. Told you, sometimes it just doesn't go to plan. It's all good. We still want to finish it. We still want to make it some kind of painting, even if it's not as we envisaged in our minds. Just coming in and mixing that in. So the sea does feel like it's got a bit of a shimmer to it now, because we've got the mix of colours, we've got the shadows under the boats. I'm really liking the feel of that, but I feel as though I want more pink in it. Because why not? So all I'm doing is what I was doing before, is I'm zigzagging the pink across the water. I'm going to lean that up a bit because I don't... Can you see? It's very light, isn't it? It's very, very bright, the light today. I may have to turn the brightness down on the settings. Anyway. Coming in. I want to kind of make the sky make sense to the sea, if you get my meaning. So we needed a bit more pink because there's a lot of pink in the sky. Still feel as though now we need a bit more white on some of these white sails. Now that we are putting the light in, let's just have a little bit of a glimmer on maybe the edges. I think this one especially could have more white. Yeah, I like that. I like the block effect. But you have to have the underlayers for it to make sense. Yeah. It's coming together. So now I want to come back to this boat because I went over it with the grey and I don't really want to leave it all grey like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down with the blue in the direction of the shape of the boat, so that we've still remained some of that grey, but we're just kind of also, can you see, just bringing that colour into the boat as well. I think we need maybe some of this darker blue up here to show the boat, because that's where the shadow will be. That's further away because it will be turning round, and here too. It's nice to have that dark outline, but you need to bring the colour and the light back into it somehow. So maybe a bit yellow in the sea. Why not? Let's have a bit more yellow in the sea. Especially over this side where we've got more yellow in the sky. There we go. It's going to introduce a new colour then, but I think if I do any more to it, it's going to spoil it. So I think we best leave it. So I'm going to move it like that so that you can see it in the shade, so it's not too bright. So hopefully you can see there the finished product. Nearly. What I need to do is get the masts drawn in here. Hang on. It's trying to get the right colour. I don't want it to be too black. I don't want it to be too light. And we're just going to kind of mark in where the masts of the boat were, because they'll be reflecting down through those shadows. And I know that's what I've forgotten to do, because then that really does create like the shadow effect on the water. Apart from maybe some nice white splodges in the sky, I think we are probably done, because if we fiddle about with it anymore, we're going to ruin the abstract funness of it. Funness? Is that even a word? I don't know. Making it up as I go along, eh? But... Right. And I'm going to put some more up here. It's not necessarily, what's nice is it's not necessarily showing up as complete white because the colour's coming up through from underneath. But it's nice to just add that little bit of difference into the sky. If you're concerned about ruining what you've got so far, don't do it. Yeah, I'm quite confident that I'm not going to ruin it, so I'm okay with it. But if you're feeling like you're going to ruin it, trust your gut instincts. Leave it alone. I'm going to put some more white in at the back, because there is more white. Like, I'm looking at a reference image, so I sort of did an abstract version on using AI, kind of trying to get it exactly how I was seeing it in my head. And then I'm kind of using the AI as a reference, but then I'm not really. Because, well, I'm just playing, really, just having fun with it in my head, how I see it. See, the more layers you put to water, the better, because you are giving it depth. And sometimes you can go down like that way, and you see how that creates the water effect as well. Just by very gently, with hardly any paint on your brush, just doing these lines, especially with the white, it just creates that watery effect because you've got the shadows coming down in that direction. It's a nice way to finish off the water. And then you can go across as well, just to blend it in. Which has made me realise I think I want some more very strong white marks. So I'm going to come in with those, and then, well, I keep saying I'm done. And then I keep adding to it, don't I? Then I will be mostly done. What I love to do with these types of shimmery paintings is add on some silver or gold towards the end. Once I've finished, and I just dot some in, because it's just, oh, it's just nice. It's just lovely. The reason why this boat is quite dark on this side is because the sun is over here coming this way. So it's kind of shaded, and that's what gives us that 3D-ness, is by having that boat much darker in the front. And I love how these lighter bits on the edges are nice and blocked in like that. Right. But, you know, it depends what you like. Yeah. Art is about what you like rather than what is right or wrong. I don't think there's enough yellow in this personally. So I'm going to block some yellow in as well. Like that. Just in different places. Yeah. That's better. I'm starting to get that nice blocked feel, which is what I was kind of looking for before, but couldn't quite get it. I think it's because I hadn't had enough layers down in the background. But now I do. There we go. We're just blocking them in a haphazard manner to create that nice multicoloured boat. Oh, I need to leave it alone now because I'm going to ruin it. Now, what I do like to do is I've got some silver and gold paint. See if I can find it. Ta-da! Okay, so it's basically liquid leaf. You have to shake it up. I've got gold and silver, but I must admit I don't use the gold a lot. I much prefer silver. I would suggest you use any kind of old, oh, I can't open it, any old brushes, because it can have a thickening effect on the brush and kind of ruin the brush. So I always try to just dig out an old brush that I'm probably not going to use ever, that I've had for a while. And then I'm just going to put some little silvery marks in. So you'll see that it shimmers in the light. I don't know if you can see that on camera. So I'm just going to put some on the boats. You don't have to do too much. And then I just dot some in as well. Let's just do some dotting. Because why not? That's what I say. Do some silvery dots where you're getting some shimmer, where the masts are, where the water's hitting, where you've already got that shadow. It's nice to have the shimmer in there. Oh, itchy nose. So then I would say we are done for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I was a bit all over the place with it, I realise, because I was doing it, as I said at the beginning, I was doing it as I went along and kind of making it up as I went along. Oh, I'm going to get... Hang on. I have got some acrylic paint pens, and I don't tend to use these much, but actually I think here, well, whilst we're doing like this checkered feeling of our sails, we could use them a little bit. I wonder what this blue is like. Yeah, nice. Okay, so we can come in and be more specific about our marks. Put some shadow on this one here. I'm just gonna, we could put some lines in the water in that colour because it's nice and dark like the blue that we've already put down. Yeah, that's nice. Just kind of wiggle it down like that. Bring it across, leave bits there. I'm kind of picking the pen up and lifting it down as I go along to create that wiggly pattern. I've got some yellow here as well, but it is a very bright yellow, so I'll be a little bit careful with this. We don't want to ruin what we've got. I'm just putting it over the yellow we already have. Could have some, put some streaks up there, some brighter ones. there as well. Not too much, as I say, we don't want to ruin it. We can put some in our sails. Nice. The pink as well. We did do some of that a minute ago. This is another yellow. I don't think we need any more yellow. That's fine. I might just put some more of this pink in the sky. Just create some little streaks. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we need to bring back some of the pink here because now the yellow and blue is drowning that pink out. But we can be a bit more direct about where we put it with the pen. Be careful now not to mess it up too much because I can see that I'm getting a bit carried away and having too much fun. It's getting a bit too colourful. Okay, we'll leave it there. I'm going to sign. Oh, no, not that one. That one's too thick. I've got a thinner one. Here we go. Had lots of fun with that one. Hope you did. Please do follow, like, share, all those things, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.